So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down what a prop firm actually is. Now, I'm sure there's many people out there that do know what a prop firm is, but we speak to so many clients on a daily basis, and there's many people that don't actually know the concept of a prop firm. And I feel like it's really important to understand the concept, then you'll kind of understand the potential that there is, because there's huge opportunity in this space. You can make a lot of money in the space as well. But I feel like that all comes from you understanding the potential. Right? Once you understand the potential, then it will kind of push you to go ahead and get those payouts through a prop firm. Because obviously everybody knows what trading is, right? And when most people think of trading, they often get lured into these like gurus online that try to sell them signals to try and deposit their own money into some broker account, then try and trade the account. But you're never ever going to make a lot of money doing that, right? Because let's say, for example, I don't know, you deposit $500 into a trading account and you make 10% in a single month. You've already made yourself $50, right? $50 ain't going to change your life, right? But if you made the same 10% on a 100K account, you've made yourself 10K, right? Obviously, minus a prop firm fee, whatever. You still made yourself like a considerable amount of money. But let me get into that in this presentation because you need to understand how you actually get that 100K in the first place, right? Which is through a prop firm. So let's jump straight into it. So, in one sentence, a prop firm is a trading test. You pass it, and the firm lets you trade their money instead of your own. So, you prove your skills first. They fund you the account after. You trade their capital, not yours. So, they're basically giving you money to trade with. So instead of me depositing 100K into a trading account, which most people don't even have, let's be honest, you can use the prop firm's money instead, right? You can leverage their money, and that's why it's such a big opportunity, because there's many people that can trade, but they just don't have the capital to trade with. Back before prop firms existed, like 15 years ago, whatever. The people that made big money in trading is people that had a lot of money in a trading account, right? Nowadays, obviously, if you're just starting out, you're not going to have much money, right? I'm talking about the average, right? And yeah, if you get access to prop firm capital, that's where you can make a lot. So even if you make 5% on a 200K trading account, that's still 10K, which is insane, right? That same 5% on like a $500 account is what, only $25. So you get the concept there, right? Get funded through a prop firm, and that's how you actually start making a lot more money. So that's basically what it is. So you pass an exam. It's like a driving test, right? You pass a driving test. Once you pass the driving test, then they'll put you in a car. So same thing with a prop firm, right? You pass the trading exam, and once you pass it, they'll give you the money to trade with. So why firms make you prove it first? Well, it's just kind of what I explained. So they're only gonna give you money to trade with if you can actually trade. So if you have a solid trading strategy, if you know how to trade, then that's where they'll reward you for it, right? They're not gonna give it to anyone. So prop firms aren't gonna give away money for free. The challenge is filtered by traders who can actually manage risk. So risk management is huge when it comes to trading. So if you can manage your risk correctly, they'll give you the capital to trade with, and that is the opportunity with prop firms. So it proves that you can follow the rules under pressure. It proves you can control losses, not just chase gains, and it filters out anyone who is inconsistent, right? So yeah, they'll give you the money to trade with if you can actually trade. That's basically the concept. So what getting funded actually means, right? So as I mentioned, you're not depositing money into your own trading account, right? You're trading the firm's capital and splitting the profits with them. So typically it's an 80-20 split, right? So let's say, for example, you have a 100K trading account and you make 10% on that 100K account. That's 10K in profit. Now the prop firm typically takes 20% of that. So let's say that 10K, you keep 8K, which is still a lot, right? Some people, they try and trade with $100. If you're making 10% a month on that, then yeah, you're making $10, which is, you may as well just work a job at that point, right? So your personal capital isn't at risk. And yeah, once you get one funded account, you can start getting multiple funded accounts and run different sort of strategies on them, right? You have people that have like 100K worth of funding through a prop firm called FTMO, another prop firm, multiple different prop firms, diversify yourself, then all you have to do is make a few percent a month to make more than your current day job or whatever it may be. So the general shape of a challenge. So how does it work? So, right, skip a slide there. How does people? Yeah, so the general shape of the challenge. So, yeah, so once you get the challenge account, you have a profit target. So typically it's 10%. So if you make 10% on their account, then you've actually passed the challenge. They also have a drawdown limit too, which basically means you can't lose more than 10%. You have a 100K trading account size, you have to make 110K for you to pass the exam. Okay. But if you go below 90K, if you lose more than 10%, then you lost the account completely. So that's the exam. That's basically, the same analogy compares to a driving exam, same principle there. Time limit. So some prop firms have a time limit, some don't, but that depends on the prop firm basically. So how do people typically fail these challenges? Very, very good question. So a lot of people actually fail these prop firm challenges. It's not easy to pass, right? You need to be a good trader. You need to understand the markets, understand market structure, and most importantly, you need to install discipline. So trading is about discipline, right? It's not easy trading. Okay, a lot of people they can't trade because you can learn the best strategy in the world. You can learn everything, right? But you can ruin months worth of progress by one emotional day, right? Controlling your emotion just in general in life is a very, very good skill to have. Okay. You see a lot of people, they mess their lives up because of their emotions, right? If you can control your emotions, you'll be strong in life. And that same principle applies to business, trading, right? If you're someone who is emotionally unstable, then that's where it can become a problem. So emotions is a huge part of why most people actually fail these challenges. And things like revenge trading, right? So if you take a loss in trading, which is normal, they'll try and make it back with another undisciplined trade. So stuff like that. Ignoring drawdown limits on the pressure, over leveraging your account, right? So it's almost never bad trading, right? It's just basically, in my opinion, emotions which gets most people. And that's why our service exists, right? So we actually help people pass these trading challenges on a daily basis. And that's kind of our brand, Prop Firm Automation, right? We help automate prop firms. But yeah, hopefully this video gave you a understanding of what prop firms are. Because I think it's good to understand the basics, right? You need to understand what it is you're getting yourself into, and most importantly, understand the potential, right? One prop firm payout can change your life potentially, right? My first payout through a prop firm was around 4 years ago. It was around 7K with FTMO, which for me at the time was like, whoa, that's insane. That was like almost 3 months of working at the time, right? So yeah, hopefully that made sense. Hopefully that you found this video valuable. If you do find it valuable, then make sure you leave a like, drop a comment, whatever. And yeah, any questions in regards to passing prop firm challenges, I'll leave a link to our Telegram down below and we'll be in touch.